Eunhwa, it's finally here after a week of waiting. So let's talk a little bit about our first impressions on day one, of course, day one, as to what's going on with Eunhwa. Now, this is a character that honestly is looking pretty nice. Both of them together are looking pretty good. I was expecting more, I don't know why, from both characters, Emma and Eunhwa together. I thought they were gonna be like just overall better bunnies, right? Like way better bunnies. But so far, without Bestie, it's looking like they are just bunnies, but more niche. AKA, you bring them when you have a rocket launcher or you have true damage characters. True damage is way better than the rocket launcher or sniper buffs, but we don't have enough true damage characters at the moment. And this could mean two things. A, Shift Up completely forgets about true damage for another year, just like distribute damage, or they release a really powerful character on the 3rd anniversary that is going to be true damage. We don't know what they will do because it's Shift Up, God fucking knows. So let's talk a little bit about overall how we're feeling about her and the day one first impressions, some damage test numbers, and if I will pull for them or not. As usual, also before we start, hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. A lot of things to go through. Honestly, they're looking pretty nice. But we're at the point in Nikke where unless something is limited or it's your waifu, you don't have to pull. Because let's be honest, right? Let's assume you have most of the meta characters and you have already grown. You don't have to pull for any support in the game. Right? If you are a casual player, you only do your campaign and that's about it. You might do some of the raids here and there, some of the union raids maybe here and there, but most casual players don't really try hard nor care about pushing hard mode at the 35% combat power deficit, right? So in those cases, you can skip these characters for now, both Emma and Eunhwa. They are good characters. I believe both of them are going to be T1. I'm not sure if I want to be rating them yet or just wait for Bestie because they kind of need to be together, all of them, right? So all that jumping for the introduction, let's jump directly into the current investment we got. This was fucking expensive, one copy. I didn't have to ticket, but at what cost? Phase 0, Purple Doll, she was rank 1 on the bond while we were testing, and I got 4 overloads, 774 on the burst, because her burst, honestly, outside of the damage taken, there is nothing interesting in here. But her personal damage is good, so we might actually keep investing in her a little bit more. And of course, we've been using so far resilience because we don't have good ammo. We got max ammo charge speed elemental, really good piece, but I have to reroll that elemental percentage just to get like a higher number if possible. 4320, I am actually getting that. We also got charge damage attack here. We got critical charge speed on the 3rd line, which I might lock, but it's kind of hard justifying, you know, locking the 3rd line charge speed, but she's a slow girl at 2 seconds. And then lastly, max ammo, crit damage, charge damage. So not really good lines, honestly, even though we got decent ammo, but barely any attack or elemental. When it comes to her kit, it looks like it's gonna be a 777. I thought it was gonna be a 774, but as you will see later on the damage number results, she is actually a nice damage dealer on her own. She is almost catching up to my Siren, full invested for elemental for attack on neutral, of course. And considering Siren is like one of the best supports with personal damage as well in the game, right? So she's catching up to my Siren with way less investment, only 1 copy and a 774 when we were testing. That's fantastic. I think it's gonna be a 777. I don't think it's worth going any higher on this duo or maybe this trio. Maybe Bestie can be justified to actually go higher on the skills, since she might be the main damage dealer here. But for now, both Emma and Eunhwa. Emma, I think I recommended, if I remember correctly, like a 477, I don't remember. And then for Eunhwa, it looks like it's gonna be a 777. Some of the buffs don't change that much. For example, skill 1, you could keep at level 4, and it's a 30%, I believe, of true damage already. So you could keep that as well at this 477, both characters, and still benefit from most of the buffs, right? That's it. When I said that I think they are gonna be bunnies, but more niche, what I mean is that they feel like characters that are gonna be buffing for the most part, either true damage or just rocket launchers snipers, because of the mechanics that they have, where they are giving not only the crit rate, but they are giving this projectile explosion damage and the true damage, right? The problem is that there is not that many characters that can really take advantage of this. If we talk about the snipers and rocket launchers, a lot of them are already on their own good teams. And what they are giving is not enough to make a difference versus running mates, versus running Spanish, or this is running your normal team. So that jumping aside about her skills and about the equipment and what we got, let's jump a little bit into the damage numbers themselves, so we can explain this a little bit more. We did a couple tests. We did first Museum Ultra No Limit, going with Laplace and Rapid Red Hood. And as you can see, Museum Ultra is different because the core is not exposed, so there is no constant core for Rapid to destroy the damage here. And she was doing pretty good. We're talking about the 2 billion Laplace versus a 2.1 Rapid Red Hood. And then if I was running Grown Helm, he was doing 3.1, 3.1 both of them, so 1 extra billion. But if you run Banish, you run Mates, anything else in here, they lose damage. So in a case where you can move through damage and it's a rocket launcher or a sniper, they do really well, as you can see with Laplace Treasure. And this Laplace Treasure, even though it's 300k combat power, doesn't have that much good investment because it's well, we can say right here, she doesn't have that many good lines as far as I remember. It's a core 7, yes, but her skills are a 477. Her gear is attack, charge speed, elemental ammo, attack, charge damage right there, and then max ammo critical rate. Not that great, right? So this is not again amazing or a fully invested Laplace, and he's doing really well. This Red Hood is 4 elemental, 4 attack. So if you can take advantage of the 2 damage buffs and also of the rocket launcher sniper buffs, both of these characters are fantastic, and I expect Bestie to perform really well as well. But when you remove those and you put them on like a more normal scenario, like for example on the Union Rage Iron Wig, as you can see, Rappi of course was destroying her, going for 3.6 versus 1.4, and then running Banish was doing 1 billion versus 4.2. So once again, they are buffing through damage quite well, but it's a matter of how many situations or how many people have either Laplace, Ain, or the new Bestie. Those are the only 3 DPSs for true damage. If you don't have any of those, they are useless buffers because you can run the ones we currently have. And after that, we actually went into a Union Range neutral to test those charge damage buffs. So running SBS, Raven, Little Mermaid, and of course the new supports versus other supports. Also important to note, while I was running Emma and Eunhwa bursting with them, we are not bursting with Little Mermaid, so we are not taking advantage of her attack damage on burst. While we are doing Banish or the others, we are actually getting her burst, right? So on that case, as you can see with Eunhwa and Emma bursting, both of them, they're doing 1.4, 1.3, which is pretty good. What surprised me the most here is the damage on Eunhwa. This Eunhwa, like I showed earlier, pretty bad lines, pretty bad investment. She was bone level 1, nothing else, and she's doing 569 million versus my fully invested Little Mermaid doing 639. That is pretty good damage for an Eunhwa without investment. So I feel she's actually going to be doing pretty well if you can get good lines on her. Good luck on that, I don't have rocks. Emma, however, she has 4 attack and I believe 1 or 2 max ammo, and is not doing that well. So she's gonna be just the support on the team and the one that's providing the sustain and the damage taken a part of it, right? After that, I went to Banish and it's the same damage, 1.4, 1.4, as you can see right here. Raven doing a little bit more only. After that, we also checked mates. Of course, Scarlet benefits more from mates because of the distribute damage, but still Raven is doing the same, 1.4. And then just to check, we went with Crown Helm, which don't really benefit Raven that much, 1.6, but clearly helps Scarlet a lot, going to 2.1 from 1.7 and 1.4 from the big one. So after those numbers, that's what I said earlier, that I feel both of them will be tier 1 characters on their own as buffers. Now the question is, how much better do they get if you can actually build all 3 of them and Bestie is also on that team? And I'm not sure how I want to rate them after Bestie comes out. We'll see if we just put the tag for all of 3 have to be together or you can run them separately. Because at the end of the day, Eunhwa and Emma need to be together to work, just to work. But Bestie can still be a decent DPS, using a 20% attack buff if she's not paired with them, right? So we'll see when she arrives next week, but so far that's the first impressions on the new girls together. That said, should you be pulling for them, Sefhi, or not? Honestly, not really, not really. If you care for raids, if you're gonna be pulling for them, you're gonna be building them. If you're more of a casual player, at the moment, Nike, it's a game where you can skip anything that is not limited or your waifu. If they're your waifus, of course, go for it. If not, not really. We have 200 gold silver tickets. Is there anything good in here? Not really, so I'm not gonna be using them yet. That's it, that's gonna be for this video, honestly. Nothing else to talk about. I'm happy with them because it's nice to get more support, and in my case, I like running supports who can heal and buff both of them, right? For example, I don't like running on the Electro Team Mary because I lose heals. I'm a pussy, what can I say? So for people like me, they're pretty good units. Outside of those reasons, I would recommend waiting for Bestie before you decide if you wanna pull or not. All that yapping, that's gonna be it for this one. As usual, we are live every single day. Link in the description, love you bastards. Good luck with your pool generates, and I'll see you in the next one.